Good morning and welcome to Capitan Morgan's War Games. In this edition, this is an army showcase of my Thousand Sons army. The bases that they're on were provided by Big Mech's workshop. I'll put a link in the description and for you to go. They're on eBay, lovely bases, and they were built and painted by a very lovely guy. It cost me £650 to get them this standard of painting, which I'll show you when we actually go in and have a proper look at them. I can't tell you his name or who he is because he doesn't want me to. He's got enough work and he doesn't want any more, or he's happy as he is, which is fair enough. But a massive thank you. These are way more than I was expecting. They're absolutely fantastic. So without further ado, let's go in and have a look close up at these models. First, Magnus. I think you can tell just by that detail and then we'll get into the bases a bit on this one and you can see what sort of detail there is on Magnus. I'm absolutely impressed. And next are my decimators. So let's zoom out a little bit so you get the that into the base, see, and now I'll turn them round and you can see sorry for the camera shake. I normally would do this with a tripod and grip, but can't today, haven't been. I think the level of detail work is amazing for my first demon prints. Again, I'll zoom in. Actually, don't need to, I'll just bring the camera closer and get it down and then turn this bad boy around and we'll go then we have Araman. Look at the work on that detail. This guy for £650 has done an amazing job. Let's be honest, that and second demon prints, I love that. Let's see if we can get a little bit more. Oh, look at that. Look at that axe. Details on the... I can't help but I wish I could paint it as well as that. That is awesome. Right, I'm just going to show you a couple of, you can see I've got 3 units of twist spray, 2 lots of 10 and 1 lot of 30 with icons of flame and spray horns. Each one has a twist spray. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 models from 1 unit, so you'll get an idea of what we're looking at. So first of all, we'll twist spray we'll go in with a character with a bray horn. The guy with a bray horn. I mean, look at that. I wanted a slightly different colour scheme to traditional, but he has also kept a traditional feel about it. So that's, and now my sangle with a icon of flame. Again, look at those bases, and I mean, that is so impressive. Come out a little bit, just so, but can you see the level of work that's gone into it? This guy loves what he's doing. You can tell just by the work in it. Now the last one is a normal angle. So look, at that work I'm doing from the side on. So how well. I mean, your professional painters will and people who can paint like this are awesome. I mean, I wish I could. That is absolutely brilliant. Right, I'm going to pan out, and I'm going to come away and let you see. That's what the whole army looks. That, to me, is just truly amazing, and that's from a good 4 foot away from the table. When you zoom in, you can see how stunning they are. Right, this list I'm taking to play against Idiot Spear to give him to play test his tourney list. So I'll go through pretty much what I've got here, so you can No, I've got a super heavy auxiliary of Magnus. Everyone knows what Magnus does. Then I have a Vanguard detachment of about 1000 Suns, and that is Araman on the disc with 3 decimators with sole petard cannons. A range of 24 inches, 2d3 shots each cannon. They're assault weapons and they're nasty. They move 10 inches as well, so it's a 34-inch threat range. And then we come to the Bash Brothers. If anyone's ever played Mighty Ducks, you'll know where that comes from. But they are literally, look at that. Would you want to take those two on? And then over to the Zengals. I've got 2 10-man squads. Each squad has a twist spray, an icon of flame, and a bray horn, all with Zangle blades, so it's CC, and then 1 big 30-man blob. Again with bray horn, icon of flame, and a twist spray in there. They will be deep stroking turn 2 pretty much, and you can guess what's going to happen with them. I've gone quite heavy on the mortal wounds output. Playtesting this list for a tournament myself, different one to Nick, but then this won't be going to confrontation. I'm already adapting the list as I speak. I've got to get extra models to do that, but that will eventually be. There will be a change in that adaptation to the list for the confrontation. Mainly those 3 guys will not be making an appearance at confrontation. But I have an idea of replacing them already in my head, and I will play test that out. But this is for another tournament that comes before, and I'm play testing it in this format still, just getting my movement and bits figured out. So sort of powers are going to be Doombolt, Zenith's Firestorm, Bolt of Change, Smite, Temporal Manipulation, gives wounds back. Then I'm also going to have Death Hex, Diabolical Strength, Warp Time, Weaver of Fates, the power that gives a -1 to hit, gaze Infernal Gateway as well, I believe. Two demon princes have got relics. One I get for free, one I have to pay a command point. But one will be axe, and when I get it I'm going to put a small obsidian stone in his hand, and he'll have the dark matter crystal. The one with claws as the helm of a third eye. Basically we farm command points on my opponent's turn when they're using command points. That is the general idea anyway. Stratagems, loads of stratagems I can use. The ones before the game will be webway, during deployment will be webway infiltration, and the one with relics, which is before the game, for the guy with the axe. The other stratagems are during game, and they will hopefully have a massive effect on the outcome of games. As I said, I'm using this against Nick. I think he needs to play a psychic army just in case confrontation he comes up with against a psychic list at confrontation, and how to deal with that. I mean, what I won't be telling you, because Nick will watch this video anyway, is this list is going to be about how I deploy against Nick's list. That I already have in my head. It all change dependent on map and other variables, but my deployment is going to be pretty simple. And basic. I'm going to have 20, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 models on the table. With 78 wounds. There's 108 wounds in the whole squad altogether. Not many, but the idea of this board is to get across and engage the enemy as quickly as possible. With most of it, anyway, and that. What I engage and how quickly I engage will depend on my opponent, what my opponent has. I'm not 100% sure how that pan out, but you never do until you're in a game. I'd come up with that part of the list concept myself. I wasn't sure about the second part of the army list, and I had some Thousand Suns Marines in there, and I paid £20 to Nick Nanavanti for his clinic, and no, $20 for his for a 30-minute phone consultation and this consultation. And I'd said to him, it just something didn't feel right, but I wasn't sure what. I told him that was my core of my army list, and I felt that it worked, but it was the battalion, the 2 princes and the troops I wasn't sure about. At the time I didn't have 2 demon princes. I had an exalted sorcerer in there and 1 prince. Nick looked at it, and this was before the beta deep strike changes came in, and said, keep the 2 10-man squads of Zangals, but get rid of the rubric Marines. They're not worth the points, and put a big 30-man blob of Zangals in instead, which I have. And again, the idea is, and I will mess about with it, is to have either of them on the table turn 1, and with a dark matter crystal teleport them across the table into closer to the opponent turn 1, and make him deal with them, or deep strike them in. As I said, I'll decide on a game-to-game basis, and I'll be coming in turn 2. Yes, I'm going to have to be careful. That I don't get wiped in 2 turns, but I'm hoping that with good placement I will be able to negate some of that. It depends on terrain, of course, as well, but I'm hoping that with reasonable terrain I'm going to get to hide and on my turn and on his turn, and on my turn come out and shoot the hell out of him. I'm also hoping that there'll be a few things that are targets, and soak up all his attention to allow me to do what I want with the rest of their list. My 3rd detachment is a battalion with the 2 demon princes as HQs and the Zangals as troop choices. It really is all about the mortal wounds. On average, so far, I've rolled over 100 rounds of shooting and sidekick and etc., and it averages 35 mortal wounds a round. Playtesting in games, again, I've been averaging 35 mortal wounds a round. My last game against Death Guard, but I knew Death Guard were always going to be a tough cookie to play against. They have disgusting resilient, and okay, it's a 5+, but to put that into context, in that game I lost because of my deployment, but when you have Mortarion facing you and you put 34 mortal wounds into him, and that's what it takes to drop him, that tells you how tough and resilient Death Guard can be. However, I've played 3 neck games against my friend Dave, who plays Necrons, and there's a battle up of one of them. Again, I'll link that into this so you can watch that, where I was proxying this list, and again, objective deployment and my deployment pretty much won me the game. But I was averaging in first two rounds. I did 70 mortal wounds, and he had about 120, 130 wounds on the table. So he was left with about 40, 50 wounds after my first 2 turns. That is never good. Nick, in his list, I believe he's got about 170 wounds. So I won't even have taken half of these wounds in 2 turns if I do 70 mortal wounds in the first 2 turns. But what I'm hoping is that I will have done enough damage to vital units in turns 1 and 2 that I render him ineffective, and that I can go about then building a lead and picking off things at leisure. It's a basic premise. Do enough damage turn 1. I'm looking at killing 2 units, possibly 3, and then waiting for the rest to come in and try and counter me. And what do I have to watch out for in Nick's list? The fact that the race can move 18 inches and move advance and charge, so first turn charge possible. So I have a plan for that. I've got to figure it out board space wise. That'll depend on deployment zones and everything, but I do genuinely have I believe I've got a way to counter that, because I believe he'll try and charge me turn 1 with his wraiths and stop me being effective that way. But we will see. And yeah, I'm hoping it always is a good match against Nick. I mean, visually, I now have models to stand up and compare to his, and actually be worthy of being on these board and set up, which I'm pleased. I know her. I mean, my plan for my first tournament is I'm going to be picking up 2 awards: Best General for Chaos, and Best Painted. That's a hope. Might not work out that way, because there's always some phenomenal models at the tournament and really well painted, but I'm hoping that this will edge it. So as I said, I'm aiming for two prizes. The first 2 being Best General and Best Painted. Can I win the tournament with this list? I don't think so. My aim is 3 wins. If I get 3 wins, I'd be happy. If I can get 4 or 5, if I can trouble the top table though, that would be a bonus. I don't see it happening, because once you get those 3 wins, you're then playing better players who will be able to counter this list much more effectively. But that said, we shall see, and I will give you a tournament summary over 2 days I do it, and how I did and how games went and what I could improve on. I hope you've enjoyed the video and the showcase, and I hope it gives you an insight into what I intend for this list, and I hope you come and watch next battle act for this, which might take a little longer. Don't know how long it'll take to come out, but he's pretty good with them, and we can go from there. See you soon. Bye bye.